thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the possibility to tell you about what we at Microsoft are doing in the area of city development, city administration enhancements. And first of all, we call it, we're not calling it smart city, but we call it City Next, which is a kind of marketing word, but it's a whole concept as well. It's a programmatic approach with partners and with technology. So City Next is our smart city implementation. And as we heard just recently, we have the estimates of population. For me, as a technology guy, I'm looking at the bytes prognosed for that time, and it's 44 zettabytes, which equals 44 trillion of terabytes. This is data that has to rest somewhere, data that has to travel, data that has to be accessible, and this is why I'm talking about a digital nervous system as a kind of ground layer foundation for any smart development, being it a rural or a city development. Our approach towards a smart city and getting cities smarter is one that is an open and incorporating approach, meaning that we don't really care what kind of data is traveling, what is the source, being it an old SCADA system or a new actor or sensor data. We don't care about the platform, being it Windows or iOS or Linux or Mac or whatever. The location, is it mobile, is it a solid data somewhere in the host system, so the source is there as well. So, and this is a fundamental approach, which might be untypical if you look at a technology supplier like Microsoft. We have grown up over the last 30 years with operation systems and Office suite. But we changed dramatically within the last 5 to 7 years, changing from a company selling boxed products to a company offering solutions, and we are providing, for example, worldwide over 100 data centers with a network. I'll show you a couple of slides later. So what's the approach towards the smart city scenarios? It's a five-fold way in our idea. We heard this aspect from education, saver cities, digital cities in a couple of ways. We broke it down to these 5 pillars, and the topics you see, it ranges from open data to video surveillance to making the administration more effective. And what we're doing this on a platform, on a trusted platform in the data center, and securing the traveling data, and putting solutions together with partners on top of that. I'll show you some examples in a few seconds. So if you want to see more of this, just dive into YouTube, MFFTC City Next. You see a lot of spoken and written case studies on that, and I will show you some of them right now from around the world. To get a feeling what around the world means is, as I said, we are operating more than 100 data centers worldwide. These are the big connections, and I just took out one figure. You can see the whole article there. Within a region, saying like Europe, for example, our data centers are connected with a bandwidth of 1.6 petabit per second. This equals 200 terabyte per second. For example, for comparison, the German D6 in Frankfurt, connecting German internet to the world, is 32 terabit in order to 1.6 petabit. Just to give you a feeling what changed within Microsoft within the last couple of years. We are heavily investing in data centers, in network capacity, dark fiber, transatlantic fibers, together with other big technology companies. So this is for you to get a feeling what we can support cities and partners with. See some figures here about the investment made in this infrastructure here, and I want to take you now to the examples I brought with you. One is a project called CeBIT, together with ENBW, a local German utility. What's happening here is we transformed the lampposts to be intelligent lampposts to be able to supply energy for refueling the cars, but also to aggregate environmental data on whatever kind of pollution, and also provide surrounding information. Another example is city of Darmstadt. This is with the partner Urban Institute. It's a project, you might have a look at the dashboard here. It's showing information on pollution levels, with the idea of keeping the traffic flowing, providing car users as well as the administration with a higher quality of aggregated data, visualizing them and making them usable and accessible. Another example, city of Tel Aviv, which moved parts of their administrative systems to the cloud to have a higher throughput of innovation, but also have it better accessible to the citizens. Another one is the city of Hamburg. This is a project started 3 years ago already. Hamburg is a growing city, and the idea was to move more and more of new cities coming into the city, or applications for new company openings, to a digital way. And what was approved here is, you can see this if you follow the link there, for example, that nowadays more than 60% of application data is delivered in a digital way, uploaded, so to speak, or sent via email into the city administration. Another one, city of Barcelona. We had it in some slides already. Barcelona tried to, or also succeeded in my opinion, to reinvent itself a couple of years ago. The municipality and the mayor made a big leap to get open data working, to use the data for predictions in terms of social development and crime, but also make it accessible for tourists, to get the tourists, so to speak, informed which ways they can use. This was, for example, achieved together with Atos and the local Catalonian partner called BSmart. And another one, being a former European cultural capital a couple of years ago, live in Ukraine. They were facing the challenge that within 4 years they almost doubled the number of tourists coming into the city. So they needed faster processes, faster flow of information. This is the project here. Another one, we heard from you, the need of people, population, citizens' participation. This is a project carried out with a Berlin partner called CeBIT, about the conversion of the Hindenburg barracks in the city of Ulm. And before the conversion of the barracks started and took place, there was a participation, a call for participation, but not only just an online survey, but also community building on our platform, built together with CeBIT, and of course our hometown, Seattle. Seattle is a growing area with more than 3.6 million people living in the metropolitan area there, in the lake area, facing same challenges that every growing city is facing, higher population, higher energy usage, and together with Accenture and the city of Seattle, we managed to start and also to be successful with a project in building management, energy consumption forecasting and prediction, which leads to a more accurate match between the need of consumption and the power plant producing it. And you see the quote here. It was a successful one. So, and the last one, not looking at the cities, but looking at the rural areas around it, in the Bavarian forest, an entity called Waldwasser. This is a project I clearly count into the area of smart city development, because this is a digitalization project for the field workers, the ones caring about the water quality, to have a higher throughput of information, to have a higher quality of information, and enabling the field workers to be more productive. So, that's from my side. Thanks for your interest, and we open up the ground together with you for questions.
Thank you, Thomas Treml, for your presentation. Questions? You have questions for Mr. Haitepe or for Mr. Treml on the very interesting topics, by the way, very interesting.
Wonderful, so we're just in time.
Yeah, you are perfect.